Very pleased to be joined by the new head coach of the Rutgers Scarlet Knights, Greg Schiano. Coach, obviously talking to you in very unusual times, particularly for someone who is running a football program and just getting started running a football program. What does your day-to-day look like right now?
You know, at the beginning, it was a little hectic, but we've kind of gotten to a little bit of a flow or a rhythm. And, with our players, with our coaches, with our administration. So we're trying to make the best of the situation, obviously, and trying to still improve because, as you mentioned, this is all new for our guys and for everybody, really. So it's a bit of a challenge.
What does that flow or rhythm look like? In other words, to what extent are you in touch with your staff? To what extent are you in touch with players?
Well, we've done a lot of WebEx meetings and things like that with our staff. We've done a little bit with our players. Our biggest concern is to make sure that all our guys, we have over 100 guys, make sure they're all safe, that they all have a safe place to stay. A lot of them are back home now. Some of them remained in New Brunswick, but not too many of them. So really making sure they're fed, that they're safe, and then anything else we can do is a bonus.
Spring practice was, of course, canceled. As a new head coach, what are the particular challenges when you don't have that opportunity to work with the guys in the spring that you ordinarily would?
Well, things were going really well. So it was exciting. Guys were working very hard. They were starting to learn the culture, learn a little bit about scheme. And then it gets shut off, right? So it's hard because you can do all you want in a meeting room. You can have winter workouts, but there's no substitute for playing the game itself. So, but that's the hand we're dealt. That's the hand everyone's dealt right now. And, it kind of puts things in perspective, especially where we are here in New Jersey, where it's pretty tough right now. So granted, I'd want to be out there practicing with them, but we need to make sure that we're helping everybody we can in this area.
What's the bigger issue in terms of missing spring practice? Is it the team building and the culture, or is it the install and getting your offense in, getting your defense in?
I think it's all of those, and I know that's a cop-out answer, but, as the head coach, it's important to me that our culture is being integrated in everything we do. I'm sure our coordinators and our position coaches, they're concerned about their guys learning the scheme and learning how to do it correctly. So it's an all-around 360 effort when you're trying to install an entire program, not just schemes.
Coach, there's been a lot of discussion about what it would take to get college football back up and running. Pat Fitzgerald quoted as saying 6 weeks would be sufficient. Sandy Barber, the Penn State AD, said maybe more like 60 days from her point of view, so 2 months. In your viewpoint, what's the amount of time that it would take from when the guys reported back on campus for you guys to be ready to play?
It's probably somewhere in between there. It's so hard to tell because the longer they're away, the further they're going to get from what you would consider football playing condition, right? And our kids are working hard. I know they are. But, it's different than when you're training with a team. It's different when you're doing all those sudden movements, in training. So it would be in between there, I imagine. But, again, this is, there's all kinds of examples being thrown around. I was in the NFL. There was times in the strike and those kind of things, the lockout, that it was done quickly. You're going to do whatever the policy is, you're going to do it, and you're going to find a way to get your team ready. But I think from a safety standpoint, that's what I'd be concerned about. How fast can you get your team safely ready to go out? It's not going to be a great product when guys have been away for months. It'll get better as the year goes on. I'm hopeful we get to do that, though. That's really where I'm looking at it right now. From my seat is anything, if we can get our guys back together, that'll be great.
Coach, you filled out your staff. It has a lot of guys there who have strong ties either to Rutgers, to the state of New Jersey, or in many cases, both of those. What do you like most about the group that you've put together?
Well, I really have enjoyed getting to know, a lot of these guys I knew, some of them just knew as acquaintances, but it's been a lot of fun to get to know them. It's guys that I would want coaching my sons, and really smart people. I really believe that when you get smart people together, they're good people, some great things can happen. And we're excited. We're excited to work with each other. It's been good, even in this remote situation. Guys are up early, they're cranking at it, and it's exciting.
Recruiting appears to be going very well. The major websites all have you in the top 15 in the nation in terms of your recruiting class right now. Give us a sense of what your pitch is to players.
I really wouldn't say there is a pitch. We're just, what we are trying to be is be who we are. And the key to that is, and I've said it all along, the first go around here, and I'll say it to my staff here, we just need to make sure we get the right players, the guys that fit Rutgers. And certainly a lot of those are the New Jersey and New York kids that are right, within an hour to 2 drive of our campus. And there's a lot of reasons for that. It's just not proximity. But I think we have a really tough, hardworking group of people in this area, and that trickles down into the football players. And you get those kids, and they're dedicated, and they want to represent New Jersey and represent the tri-state area. Good things can happen.
Coach, it's obvious that you've already begun to rally Rutgers Nation. You had the great speech that you gave at the basketball game, which got everyone fired up.
It's great to be home in the great state of New Jersey. Rutgers football is back. We got as high as number 7. We didn't reach number 1. That's why we're back, to get to number 1. That's it. Together, Rutgers will be number 1.
You were really ambitious in what you talked about there. You discussed getting Rutgers to number 1 in the nation. I know there's no kind of clear-cut formula, but what would it take for Rutgers to get back? What are the things that would have to be in place for you to be able to compete at that level as you did the first time you were Rutgers head coach?
It's the same formula always. You get great coaches, and then they go get great players. And when you put them together and you give them some time, you just get better and better. And I know where Rutgers sits now, people say, well, why would he make a statement like that? Well, anything I've ever done in my life, if you're not doing it to be the best, I'm not sure why you're doing it. And my question to everybody is, why not Rutgers? Not why, but why not? I mean, it's got everything that you look for when you're building a program. Does it have a recruiting base? Yes. Does it have a large alumni base? Yes. Is it a top flight institution? Yes. So I guess my question is, why not?
How's the challenge different in the Big Ten than it was in the Big East?
I'll let you know. I don't know. I haven't been through it. I know what it was like when I was coaching at Ohio State. We'll see. We'll see how the challenge is here. I'm sure there'll be differences, but I think it's a great league, and it's a league that, go back to 2002, I started a movement to get Rutgers into the Big Ten. I thought that's exactly where Rutgers belonged, academically, athletically, the kind of institution we are. And I'm really proud that we finally made it, and I'm even more proud to be the head coach of the football team in the Big Ten Conference.
Great to have you back in the league. Coach Greg Schiano, thanks so much for taking the time to talk to us under these most unusual circumstances.
Thank you. Stay safe.
You do the same.